Hello, everyone. My name is Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Sweeties.
We're longtime friends who have done some stuff, and I don't know what that is because I have a lot of intros to a lot of different shows, so I have to show this in order to do it. Let's try it again. Hello, everyone. My name is Wa.
And I'm Chris.
And we're longtime friends that discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
In this podcast that we call Sweeties. Because, sometimes, listen, our point of view on these shows can be salty, but at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet.
This is Love in Paradise, the Caribbean, Season 2, Episode 7.
Honey, Lucky 7. Snake Eyes. No.
Have 7. You seen Lucky Number 11?
What is that?
It's a movie.
Is that? No.
It's great. You should watch it.
No. Slevin? Is it like camp comedy? Is it
No. It's like a whodunit and a shoot 'em up bang bang at the same time.
Wow, I thought it was like a drag thing, like a camp thing, because it's almost like, like slay honey and 7, like, like lucky, like lucky happy 70th birthday, like if you were an aging drag queen and you turned 70 and I could throw you a birthday and I could call it like your happy 70th.
Okay.
It's because you have been killing it and just murdering the game the entire time you've been alive. And it's just like another decade.
So honey. It's slavin.
70th. Your 70th birthday.
Slavin? It wouldn't be slay?
Okay, so we're putting slay with the word 7, right?
Slavin.
70th. Your 70th. 70. Can you just say 7? I don't know, honey. Listen, we have some years until we'll figure it out by then. Yeah. But listen, we have a great episode because honestly, like we're into it. And as we are watching this in real time, 90 Day Fiance is happening. The regular old season of just regular old ones. And so it's been really nice to have this juxtaposed. And I'm really enjoying the season for a lot of reasons. A, there's smaller episodes than 90 Day Fiance, but also B, it's really fun and exciting to have these new peeps. And this episode specifically felt like it had a lot of real moments and scenes that like I haven't felt the tangibility of those real feelings in a minute because everything always seems so staged and all the other ones.
Yep. I agree with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. I really do think that there is something magical about this show. But so let's jump right into our first couple, and that is going to be Sherlon and Ariana.
My God. Here's the thing. This scene, okay, well, let's go into it. So as we know, both moms are coming to have a meeting, and we've been teased of what they look like, but like we're going to have this really beautiful setup. And it's like, they really set out this like gorgeous al fresco, like meal. It felt like, I've said this before, but it almost felt like a little bit like a bachelor date where it felt isolated, where like they had put up a table somewhere and there was palm leaves everywhere, honey. And then so at first to come is Sherlon and his mom. Yeah, let's talk about them. What?
So Sherlon was mom, and her face and her hair were the same color. And I was like, does this woman bleach? And listen, I know it's normal, not normal. I don't want to shame her, but that is immediately what I thought. I thought, your skin and your face are the same color, ma'am. So either you're bleaching or your foundation is too light. However it is, whatever's going on, no judgment, just kind of an observation, a little bit of a judgment. And but she's ready for camera, lights, camera, action.
Yeah. No, I will tell you what I first noticed, which was a Beetlejuice style black and white pinstripe jumpsuit, my love, with like a faux feather outerwear pashmina situation. And yeah, I mean, so like that was striking to me, like one little like flip of a collar was in black and one little flip of collar was white. Now she is, listen, absolutely ready for that television, honey. And she has come, and I feel like she is going to look her best. And at the same time, become a character in my mind, honey. I mean, she'll always like, she remains like she did the Lord's work in this scene.
I mean, she really did come there like looking at Sherlon like, you're not about to be like your GD daddy.
Yeah.
That's what the energy was giving. She was like, I want you to settle with Ariana. You need to give her all the help that she needs. and all the support. Because what we find out about his mother is that his mother, at some point, I don't know how old he was, left, married somebody in the US, and now lives in the US. So she's come home to Jamaica to visit Ariana, to be on this show, to meet her grandson.
Wear that striped suit, honey. Wear the hell out of it.
And she wants her son to step up to the plate and not only support the baby, but support Ariana.
Yeah.
Or at least tell her what the truth is and have him walk away. I mean, like, have it be clear as to what's going on. And so there is a group of women who are surrounding him and telling him who and how he needs to be. And it's hard for him to take it in. He does a lot of stuttering, as he's wont to do. But Ariana starts to cry. You know, she says again that you misled me. And
her mom, when they show up, her mom is really, I think, waiting for this moment to kind of come at him and have a final say, because she, of course, has like left her in beautiful retirement to like join the workforce to be able to like provide for the son. And like, you know, they get there and all she hears from her daughter is that this man is like not really into her, like won't talk to her. Like in the conversations that she saw them have over FaceTime, it wasn't very warm and very romantic. And yet, you know, like it's a huge emotional burden. And at the same time, I think it's really great in this episode and the season, because I really love the fact that we've been able to pinpoint Sherlon for being a lying, you know, no good, you know, like will do whatever it takes to get a woman in bed and get in her pants type of person. And he's had to learn a valuable lesson. And in this scene, he's now confronted by Ariana, who basically, once she gets there with her mom, Ariana like says a couple of things, but does a lot of just silent crying, and she gets backed up by both. I mean, like, honestly, I think that her mom does talk, but I don't think she's even as heated as she could be, you know, because she knew that that Sherlon's mom was there and not happy with his behavior, and B, ultimately, at the end of the day, what is she fighting for? Like, if Ariana is fighting for a man that is not good enough for her, then I think then her mom, I don't think would have to like be hard pressed to like try and put his feet to the fire, because it's like, well, if that's what you are, that's what you are.
Yeah, Sherlon was saying that he wasn't expecting Miss Karen to come in as hot, and I'm like,
she didn't
come in hot at all. She just stated the fact, and she said the things that she needed to say in order to, like, you know, get it off of her chest. But part of me also thinks that the reason why Miss Karen isn't going hard on Sherlon is because she recognizes her daughter's actions in this as well. Like, I think she is practical about it. Like, yes, choices were made, and like, you should help with this baby because I'm having to come out of retirement and do so for you on behalf of you. But also, like, I understand this is a hard situation, and why am I going to be in Jamaica fighting for a man who like drives a boat and works at 2 different resorts? Like, what is it that he's actually going to bring to the table?
Yeah.
So
basically, but really what is hard, I think, for him to deal with is like, basically, he doesn't want to talk about his feelings or what he actually wants or how he feels about Ariana. Like, he doesn't want to talk about those things. He wants to kind of like string her along and be like, yeah, we're working on it, but I've never done any wrong. Or somehow, in the presence of his mom and the presence of her mom, he is able to understand that he can't just run away from talking about this. It's unfortunate that, like, you know, like, it's hard for you to be confronted, and it's hard for you to express yourself, but at the end of the day, you have a lot more at stake, and it's not just you.
Well, I think it's his mom made him do it, because when the women started talking to him about the hard stuff, he says, I don't like talking about hard things. It makes me feel bad and uncomfortable. And the mom says, well, then say how you truly feel. Say what you truly want out of this relationship. And Ariana starts to cry, like, because this is what she has wanted for him this entire time. And he says, ladies, this conversation is making my head hurt. And the mother is like, I don't give a darn if you have a headache. This conversation needs to be had. And he actually admits that he did charm her.
Yes.
He admits in front of these 2 women that he charmed her and he did what he needed to do. And now, like, he can't back out because she got pregnant.
Right.
And her mom then says, you know what, you need to move on. And this is like a really good thing that happens. And then we hear the stupidest story I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. One of his, but so he, you know, listen, he is being held to the fire, honey.
Mhm.
And he is like surrounded by these three women who are just like, no one, you know, he has crying Ariana, he has her mom, which hates him. And then he has his mom, who's disappointed, you know? So like, he's like, I got it. See, women, let me tell you about what happened to me. At 10 years old, I fell in love. Oh no.
10th grade. Let's 10th grade.
Sorry, 10th grade. 10th grade, I fell in love. Just hard love. Now, in 10th grade, you are a sophomore in high school. So you are 12?
15. Wow.
13? I skipped a grade.
Well, but definitely that 12 and 13 are middle school, my friend.
Okay, let me think about my life.
You were 15
in or sophomore year of high school, because I didn't drive until my senior year. But I'm like, yeah, I'm maybe. Okay, so whatever. Let's just say
15.
11. No, I'm just kidding.
You start ninth grade at 14.
He was in 11th grade. We all know that, okay?
And he was 17 years old when this happened.
Yeah.
He fell in love with some woman, and the woman cheated on him. And he says ever since then, he won't settle down with one woman.
He tried. I just tried to steal her great beauty bakery. But was that one mine?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, I forgot you gave it to me. Anyway, God bless. So
you mean this entire time this has been here? Like, I gave this to you, and you've not taken it to the residence in which you reside the most?
No, it's been there for like, it came back like last week and got left here, but with all my other makeup too, including, you know, look at this. So anyway, God bless. So she's so mad. So it's great eyeliner. So also the Tom Ford. So let me just tell you. Basically, yeah. So she is crying, and those eyelashes are heavy, and you know her mom is like there for her, and his mom is realizing what a shitty person that he's been.
The best part is that after he tells this story, Ariana's in her confessionals is like, what? You grow up from that stuff and move on. Yeah, I got my heart broken when I was in high school too. Next. Then he says, I will go see a psychiatrist.
She like rolls her eyes.
I roll my eyes. You're going to go see a psychiatrist? With what money and what time? You don't have enough money to send to your baby, but you're going to pay some psychiatrist, like someone who can prescribe. You don't even know the right word. The word is therapist.
Honey, he's pulling things from the ether in front of these like women, like shields, like psychiatrist. I'll try. I was in 10th grade and I fell in love with it. You know, like he's just trying so hard to like maneuver out of this as much as possible,
but make it seem like he's going to actually try and do something, and he's not. And so it's like basically he told her, don't wait on me, but I'm going to try, and we are going to work on this relationship for Odin. No, what's going to happen is that he's going to expect her to send pictures and videos and have Odin call him, and he's going to do nothing but just be there waiting. And then anytime that she doesn't hop on a flight and bring Odin, then he's going to blame her for that. What I say she does, depending on where the mother lives, which I have a sneaky suspicion the mother lives in either New York or Florida, which is a large, you know, population. Like Ariana would serve better just to fly the baby over to see his grandmother and then leave kind of Odin out of it.
I mean, you know, it's interesting because at the end of this conversation, her mom, Ariana's mom, Karen, is like, "Oh, so I will still like be able to like spend some time. I'll take care of Odin while you guys like figure it out." And for a moment, I was like, "Well, how about would you let that grandma have some time with that baby? Like that grandma hasn't really met that baby."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it happens, but I think that it could also happen in the States too without it being too much drama.
Yeah. Oh, honey. So we will see now. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next episode. We got a little like teaser of like maybe him trying at first to like put the Mac down again. So we'll see if that works. But I'm just like, suddenly baby number 2, honey, it's a very good Mac. So next couple will be Daniel and Amber. Oh, yeah, another just like, hey, he is cute. Another hard scene to see with these two. You know, that's going to talk with these two, which is, I mean, someone be out of their mind drunk. But anyway, let's talk about it. So,
I mean, were you okay? Listen, let me just say,
we both said that
okay.
Okay, well, go on.
Were you not pissed off when you saw the kimono she was wearing and it was
It is something. Now, here is something that is true about fast fashion. So if you buy things at Target and you buy things from Amazon, which people do, including us, including you, and unless you are Mother Teresa of God bless of Chanel and Reformation, I don't even know. But unless you are, you buy things from, people that, have a lot of it to sell for cheaper than, other things. So having said all of that, there are times in the pop culture society when you see people wear the things that you wear and own the things that you own, and a part of your soul just is like, no.
Man,
And it happened.
it happened to me.
Happened to us.
It happened to us.
Happened to us, honey. Because in this scene, it starts by Amber's having a fun night with her, recently moved in, best roommate who's just going through a divorce, and they're having a kimono night. Because basically what has happened is she's moved her in her best friend who likes to drink with her. So anytime she gets off work, she can't drink. She has a reason, because when you have roommates when you're young like that, it's like a happy hour, whatever you want. It's very easy to like get effed up when you live with people, because there's always someone there to drink and it's fun. Now, if you are drinking and doing whatever by yourself, it's sadder.
It's also still fun. I do it all
It's
the time.
sadder. Sometimes.
I don't feel sad at all when I do it.
Unless if it's not happening a lot.
I feel judgment from you.
Well, we judge people all the time, so like we got to be able to take it and be able to give it. Okay, go on.
So this woman is wearing the exact same kimono that Chris and I have, that I
in a different color,
that I have with Chris in hot pink, and I think it's short, so it's not the long one, because we're ladies and we don't wear short kimonos, in front of guests that we aren't sleeping with, and.
Oh, she sleeps with him. They just don't do anything.
Also, Austin has on a black version of the same kimono, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I'm just upset because I don't want to wear anything close to what Amber wears. I don't want us to have any kind of the same fashion. Like Cara, yes. I want to wear something that Cara wears. I'd be honored. She should be honored if she's wearing something that I'm wearing as well.
Ooh, but Karen, Guillermo, she's talking about anything else. Go on.
But Amber, absolutely not. So yeah. Amber is in the kitchen.
By the way, that's what we're going to call them. From now on, Danber is their name.
So Amber is in the kitchen with her bestie, and they're like throwing cat food around so that the cats can play in the food. And I am
cat parade. Let's have a cat parade. Shot. Just meow. I mean, these people are. You wouldn't want to be friends with them either. Like, I'm sorry, they're like, you don't need to rage like that so loud. I mean, they just like spill these like fishy, smelly treats all over the floor, honey. And she's just like so happy. She's like, "Come here, kitties, eat it up, Poppy Chulo." He's like,
but also like the full camera crew is there, you guys. It's not like she's in a kimono with her bestie, drunk with no cameras.
She doesn't care.
She's in a short kimono, drunk with her besties with a full camera crew. And then Daniel, is annoyed and in the room because there's nothing he could do. He doesn't want to be part of it. He calls his brother, who has his face. I was like, is that Daniel? No, it's not Daniel. That's not Daniel. Mm-hmm. They look exactly alike. Mm-hmm. So him and his brother are having a conversation about Amber and how she's over here being a baracha with her best friend. And, it's hard being here in the US. And the brother's like, okay, so when am I going to get my visa to come? And he's like, I don't know when I'm going to get my green card. What are you talking about? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm calling to commiserate. Don't ask me about your damn green card, okay? Yeah. And I love it when the foreigner thinks that they're coming to America and it's going to be great, and they get here and they're completely disillusioned. Mm-hmm. And then their family members are like, so when is it our turn? And they're like, no, I'm still waiting for my turn. Thanks.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about you once I get a job.
Mm-hmm.
So
if they're being loud, obnoxious, so he comes out. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, Amber, what the hell? And she's like, you did it. No, all these cats are here. There's all the cats because you did it with the cat treats. She blames all the cat business on him for not having closed the bag. She's like, so when I drunkenly put my hand out there, they all just fell out. That was your fault anyway. And he's like, can we please have a conversation in the room? And she's like, no, honey. I feel like she went from drunk to like crazy. It was like, she must have already been drunk, like right when the scene started, because this woman is suddenly wasted. And here's the thing. I drink too, and I've made mistakes, but I will say this: it just sucks to be on camera because nothing looks worse than being like wasted, smeary-eyed, screaming, emotional on camera, drunk. It'll make anyone for the rest of their life go California sober. I think. Go on.
I mean, how she does no care in the world about how Daniel feels. She is so overwhelmed with him being here and not working and stewing in her resentment. She needs therapy so bad. It's like she needs therapy so bad, you guys. There is no redeeming anything about her behavior. He says, "Come on, let's go." And she's like, "I need a break, Daniel. I just need a break. It's hard. It's hard caring for you. I don't want to. I just want to have fun and forget for a little bit that I brought a foreigner to this country who can't help me do anything. And now I'm stressed out and I have to have my best friend and my sister live with me because I'm so broke." And he's just like,
if this continues, I will no longer be with you.
I mean, Amber, Daniel, go home.
I was happy he said that because what she's doing is so crazy and so like abusive, and like she is basically like, "I need a break," like she's doing, and then like Daniel's like, "You knew, but like you knew what was happening," and she's like, "No, I didn't know." You know, you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, you know, she is. I mean, she is out of her mind, wasted and drunk. And here's this, and at the end of the day, it's like you can't even argue with that or have a conversation with that. And if you get to that place, what's underlying is you not being able to take care of yourself and your mental health. So it's like, that's what it is. It's like you screaming right now is 100% about you and not about Daniel. Like,
just like, how bad off is she? I don't get it. It is a lot. And it's like watching her just like break down. And here's the truth.
Okay.
I commend her to a certain extent as far as showing and telling us how she feels. How she is expressing it is absolutely wrong.
Oh.
But it is nice to know, because I feel like in a lot of other seasons of 90 Day Fiance, the American feels this way, but they often say things in a way that makes you not understand where they're coming from. They say things like, "You should be lucky you're here. I don't understand why you need a bike to go places. You have your feet. I can't afford that." You know, they're very like crazy. They're not crazy. They're crazy in another way. But Amber is actually voicing it. So I'm like, okay, sis, I feel you. But at the same time, I'm like, you can't be voicing it like that because you're making this person feel really bad. And it's not his fault that you weren't prepared to sponsor him.
Oh yeah, also you're going to lose this man, absolutely. No one would stay around for this abuse. No one would want to be around you.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, like, Amber, you're a nice enough person and I think that you're pretty, but like in this situation, to have to witness you every night get this wasted with your friends when you're just like kind of screamy and like a melty mess. I mean, it's not the look for this like guy for the rest of his life. Like he, you know, listen, he doesn't seem like, you know, he likes American culture, but like, you know, I doesn't seem like he like
Costa Rica is better. He's from Venezuela and then he went to Paradise and now he's in Seminole, Florida. Like, he could go back to Costa Rica. Also, like, them having kids, I can't imagine that they're anywhere near or close to being able to have kids. Like, someone who can't even manage that, I would not want to have kids with her. I would be like, no, this is a red flag. This is a flag de rojo.
Now, does he have a car? Sorry. Does he have a car? Because next shot of him is that, yeah, he's going to go to play football or get dressed to go to play softball. I mean, so does he...
I don't know how he gets there.
Okay.
Maybe somebody picks him up, but woo, that shot of him pulling up his pants and all we see is just an impression.
I didn't see it. I feel like I...
Oh, you didn't?
No, I guess I did. They did? What happened?
There's a D shot of Daniel getting dressed. Like, we don't know what he's getting dressed on, but he like pulls up some like tight gray softball pants and there is just like a bulging imprint. And I said, good for you.
God, she doesn't know how good she has it.
This is so good. Good for you.
No, I think, like, listen, at the same time, it's like, Amber, what do you want? Like, you know, like,
good for
why'd you buy the house, Amber? If it's going to make your life, so why don't you just, like, rent a little longer if, like, the house was so intense for you, like, to get at this time?
I don't know.
Why didn't you just wait for him to, like, be able to, like, help you and, like, work before buying the house?
She didn't do no research. She didn't watch not an episode of 90 Day Fiance. She's never seen HEA. She's never seen anything. She has no idea that it was going to take him a year and a half. So why didn't she just like DM Chantel and Pedro? You know what I'm saying? and get some information. She didn't do that.
No.
So anyways, he gets ready for softball, and he says that he was on his way to becoming a pro player in Venezuela, but then he got shot by the police. And I 100% remember him saying this. This is the reason why he came to Costa Rica, because he was like hanging out with his friends, yes, not doing the right thing, but under what circumstances, besides in America, if you're a black man, does the police just shoot you twice and then you just like get up and like you have to flee the country now because it's no longer safe for you as a teenager? So that was the end of his career there. And so he playing softball / baseball is like something that's really great for him. And so he has a little Venezuelan community and in Seminole, Florida, and he's found them. So I'm happy that he's found his tribe. And they then, they're great supplemental characters.
Oh my goodness.
I love the fact that they're speaking in Spanish the whole time. I love the fact that one of them actually tells us his story. One of us actually says, I married an American woman.
Oh, honey, and she was crazy, but I loved her so much. Oh, Debbie Joe, honey. This man married a Debbie Joe. And like, now, listen, he has some words of wisdom for Daniel. He's like, let me tell you, you gotta let him be. Also, I love that one so much. Like, he said he loved her so much. And I like want to know what happened.
I feel like they broke up because he probably couldn't handle her craziness, or maybe he never made enough money to make her happy, or maybe it was like familial drama. I mean, because truthfully, I think that if you, as an American woman, especially if you're like white, you, and depending on your social economic background, you might not truly understand what it means to like date someone from a poorer country or marry somebody from a poorer country as a foreigner.
Absolutely. That's the Daniellas. I think that,
it's the Daniellas. It's the, what's that woman?
Stephanie.
Stephanie. It's the curly haired
Ellie.
It's like, for whatever reason, they truly do not get that they will have to take on a whole human being, especially because those human beings, while they work in the town and the place where they come from, and they can survive, it is a lot harder to survive in the US. You cannot just get an under the table, like blase job in the US and then like bring that money back home and survive. There's too much taxes and credit and this and that. There's a lot. So you have to be with a partner who truly understands it. I feel like that also happened with my parents too.
Oh.
Like, I feel like my dad was just like coming to the States and he was just happy to be here. And he was just going to work at whatever job until he died, because in Belize, you don't have to pay property tax. You have land and you build a house, and then that is it. Like, life is easy going. Now it's hard to make money and it's hard to find steady jobs, but it's not the same. US is running at a completely different frequency, and it can be hard for someone to come to the US and truly understand what all is needed to survive and to sustain a happy, healthy relationship with a partner who's used to a certain amount of luxury.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Specifically, that's like, I think it's also a economic gap.
Yeah.
You know, like I was when you said, and it's also, I thought you were going to say Emily and Kobe, which it also is a little bit in the situation. Because right now, you know, like Emily's mad at Kobe for looking at a 1-bedroom. And it's like, yeah, because Kobe knows you both don't have any money.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kobe's like, yeah, all we can afford is a 1-bedroom, so we can have we can have monthly rent if it's a 1-bedroom. Like, yeah, like the kids are just gonna have to like sleep in the living room or whatever it is. We'll have like probably in our room we'll have the baby thing, and then just like we'll move them to the living room or whatever it is, or we'll sleep all in the same room, whatever it is. And I think that would be somewhat normal and or chill in Cameroon or in other countries like we're talking about. But for Emily, she can't fathom it, because in her life she's like, no, I've always in my house. It's a house with multiple rooms. So it's like, I don't get it.
Yeah. And it's just that gap. It's that gap of understanding, and it's that gap of mentality when it comes to how you live. And in the States, if you want to live comfortably, you got to put shit on credit. Like, you have to, and then you pay stuff off, like your car. You don't just buy. Yeah, there is a faction, and there's a place in America where people buy everything in cash. There are those people who will only pay, who will, every time they need a new car, they somehow have $8,000 just to drop on a used car, and then they'll just have that used car, and then they'll do that. Or they're fine renting in the same place forever, or like whatever. There are those people who survive in the US without the ups and downs. But you, are not marrying that type of woman. You're not, those type of women aren't looking in other lands for foreigners. Those women are Nicole and of Nicole and Azan. And guess what? Azan didn't come to the US. That's Danielle. And guess what? Muhammad didn't stay with Danielle. Like, anytime you have a woman who could possibly operate like that, it doesn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically going back to what we're talking about, which was Damber. Is that my new thing I like to call them or whatever? It was really great. Again, anytime we get to have like someone have some sort of mentor and or like father or uncle conversation with these guys, which are basically, you should let the American women have a moment to breathe, which is also, since we're like cross doing all the 90 days, kind of like what Muhammad's of Yvette and Muhammad's mom says to him, which is like, let that American woman, honey, live her life. Like, it's like, if you want to be with her and you love her, like they're crazy, but you got to hold on. And so like, that's the advice that he gets. And, I mean, he does say that he loves her.
Yeah. And so I mean,
yeah,
I hope the best. Now let's move on.
I do hope, we hope them the best. Hope they heal. Honey, Abby and Gabby and Frabby.
Yay.
Just kidding, it's Frankie, but we'll be off a picture of him.
All right. So in this segment, it's been a horrible night for Abby.
I had a horrible night. Listen, as this season goes on, this Abby character, honey, she's crazy. No, I think that Abby girl is bananas. I think that we are watching like a little, like a little woman who we think is a cute spinner really be like a kind of a sociopath. I think that she's lying left and right. Honey, whatever she can do to get like whoever she's talking to on their side. I think she's crazy.
I mean, I don't think that is an indication of her being crazy, but she is grasping at straws, and we're watching her do it in real time. We're watching her do it in real time, dressed in resort wear and high-heeled espadrille wedges. So...
we're gonna watch this woman, honey. This woman has a lot of like, stuff to like fix from all her lies before. So now it's the morning after of like all of her like drama. So she has to like a little fairy go around this resort and like try and mend the relationships that have blown up because she has lied her face off this entire time.
Abby's not talking to her, so she goes to talk to Rodney, and Rodney apologizes and was like, I honestly thought that you would have told her. Like, in his mind, he's like, we're filming a show, right?
Yeah.
So, there was probably a time for you all to have a dress rehearsal, and you didn't take advantage of the dress rehearsal. So when I was saying what I was saying, I assumed that you had already told her what I was about to say. And I thought that we were just about to see some like mediocre acting, but it turns out that you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So then why'd you ask me that question? And my bad, but you did ask me a question, and we are filming a show.
First of all, that's why I was like, Rodney, why are you apologizing? You also got led to the exact thing you said, which was the truth by an Abby, who was like, why isn't Frankie here? Like if you had just Cierra la puerta, Abby, you could have, that's shut the door. If you had Cierra la boca, you would have like literally never had a problem. They could have just been like, he didn't come.
Cerrado.
Anyway, but like literally, like she made everything happen, and that's why I also think that she's bananas. I think that she wants the drama, and also maybe all of this is fake. Well, we don't even know.
I don't know, but the whole time that she's talking to Rodney, not the whole time, but like in like 3 seconds, somebody brings her a flight of shots.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, Rodney, I didn't tell her, but I hope everything is okay with you right now. So how is Selena?
She's crazy.
Like, I mean, I was like, ma'am, did you just take 3 shots in a row without even blinking?
Yes, because she was getting them free on his check. And also, what were they? One looked like cranberry juice, one looked like milk, and one looked like water or vodka. Now, they one after another. It looked like maybe like a deconstructed drink that was just like, okay, now do the alcohol first, then the mixer, then this milk.
She took them down.
Yeah, honey, like she took her relationships down. So basically, Rodney says his piece, and they kind of like this whole episode is like kind of trying to pinpoint Abby to say the things we're like, all right, let me get this right. So you told Rodney that you were going to marry him And you were going to bring Gabby over?
Yes, that is what Frankie and I talked about.
Because every time he talked to me about it, there was like absolutely no Gabby at all. It was all about you. We went to buy you a ring. There was no like, I'm gonna buy Gabby a ring later, you know.
Frankie, I don't know why he's lying to Rodney about this, but the plan was always to bring me to live with Frankie, and then we would have Gabby come later.
Okay, but here's just the thing, just so you know, you can't just like bring all the women over. Like it isn't like there's no polygamists here. Like you can actually get married to more than one woman. So there's no like we can just bring you over. You're not related to either one of us, and you're not going to be adopted by us unless maybe that was, and if that's the plan, that'd be a brilliant plan.
I mean, but also they could just pretend that Gabby is Abby's sister.
No, they can't. You'd have to birth. No, you can't. What?
Why couldn't they?
What do you mean?
What documents would they need?
The birth certificates.
The birth certificates that show what? Their siblings?
Yeah.
There's no such thing. Me and my brother do not have any birth certificates that show we're siblings.
On your birth certificate, you have the same mom listed.
It could be the same dad. What if we don't know our dads?
Okay, well, let's just say that you have at least. Okay, well, I think that there's one listed. Yeah, at one point, one of them's listed.
I think that they could have pretended that this is a cousin, because like you can sponsor anybody. So like I see what Abby's saying. It is possible, but not soon. It would have at least been 7 years, right? Because Abby would have had to be Gabby's sponsor, not Frankie. He can't. Yeah, you're right. He can't bring two women, but they would have been able to do it. It's just not in the time frame they were thinking. But it's so weird because like it's like. She's like, I don't know why Frankie is being dishonest.
Girl, you are nothing but a lying liar. Like you've been lying. You're like, I don't know what to believe more. Like how bad your haircut is, or like how much you lie. You know.
So Gabby and Abby meet, and Gabby tells Abby
they haven't not been talking. So it's like somehow magically, like they've decided to like meet up again. Like I don't know about this. This gets real weird.
So they get together and they have a pretty good scene for two people who have known each other for 10 plus years and are no longer in a relationship. She says that she does not have any trust in Abby anymore, and she doesn't know where their relationship is going to go from here, but she does love her. And Abby says that she'll do anything to ensure that she gets Gabby's trust. And Gabby like is like, listen, she's like, you're only saying this because your plan A didn't work.
Yeah.
And I don't trust you because you should have told me. You're not going to just be like, surprise, we're getting married and I'm going to bring you too. That's not a surprise situation.
Yeah. Like you could have told me if that was your thing. And then like Abby was like, well, it just really happened like, super fast. Like, no, I would have told you, but it's like, it kept happening so fast. Like, like for 7 months, just happened so fast. And then this is like one of my favorite parts of the conversation. So then, okay, wait, then Gabby's like, it happened so fast. Like what happened? Like, how did that happen? And she's like, well, you met him. And she's like, but you literally like, you loved me. Like, who did you love more? And Abby's like, both of you equal. He's like, but you knew him for 5 days. Like we've been together for 10 years, Abby. Like, how could that happen? And she's like, you met him. And that brings me to, again, how good of a dancer he is, Wah. Like that man must have met those two women. I mean, he danced.
Could you imagine him just like FaceTiming her dancing in his bedroom?
Yeah.
Like what else? I mean, Abby is holding on to something that does not make any sense. She just keeps saying it happened so fast. And Frankie's just such a charismatic guy. And I'm like, where? I mean, maybe he is. But like, how
he must be that good of a dancer, Wah, and we just haven't seen. You know what it is? He must be magnetic, and we've only seen a little snippets in the editing process. But when you see this man live move, honey, and the way in the flow, there must be like some sort of like blood potion number 9. Like remember that crazy movie, which I think is a great movie. It's Sandra Bullock and Devin Tate or whatever. Like, is that man's name? I'm not quite sure, but Jensen, Devin. No, I'm not quite sure. But it's a great movie. And by great movie, I mean absolutely crazy, not PC, and doesn't hold up. I mean bananas. I mean it's crazy. Anyway, but having said all of that, Abby is lying, trying to tell Gabby that, like, that she had a plan for her the whole time when her plan doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, we just end where she's like, I don't have any trust in you. And Abby's like, well, I'm going to do my best to gain your trust. And I think Gabby's like, not going to happen. Not going to happen, my friend. All right, let's move on to our last couple of the episode. And that is, where are these two fools? I don't know if I have a picture of them. I don't see it here. Oh, here it is. It is.
She looking real sleek, right down to her ass cheeks.
She bring the fire.
She bring the passion, cause in the man's satisfaction.
It's like she popular. Did you not? Did I?
It's kind of a bop. It's not bad. It's not. I mean, there's worse. There's been worse, and there'll be worse. And listen, I'm not. I mean, one more time. Do you want to hear it?
One more time. Let's do it again.
She looking real sleek, right down to her ass cheeks. She got the passion, and then the man's satisfaction.
That's all I remember. Popular.
And he just like in the girls. Yeah, I mean,
it's just like a lot of things that I don't get. So they get in a boat, and one of the gentlemen, or the gentleman who puts him in the boat, has a beanie that is the Garifuna flag. Okay, it's white, yellow, and black. And I said, is this person Garifuna? We need to talk about it.
Yes.
Are there Garifuna in San Marta, Colombia, or wherever, the Venezuela? I don't know where they are.
This kid's like, wouldn't that be great if there was just like such a fun place that is like super kind of like progressive and lib and gorgeous, and like people can feel like an amount of like freedom there, and like a bunch of like, peeps of your culture there. You could just
it was that moment I was like, is that man Garifuna? So Carlos is way more comfortable in San Marta. Like it's night and day. He's kissing this man in public, and Valentine feels the shift and the change in their, like, not relationship, but in their
like affection
with each other. And that's really, really nice to see. So Carlos wants Valentine to be a bottom. He keeps saying that. And I know that they both are activos, but to me, it truly feels like if anyone's going to be the bottom, it's Carlos.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, he just gives me bottom vibes, even though he says he's not. A part of me is just like, are you sure you're not a passivo and you're just pretending to be an activo because you're still in the closet and you feel like if you are gay, you might as well be an activo?
I mean, listen, I'm not quite sure, but I will say that I don't know about exactly what he wants, but if it feels a little bit closed about his sexuality, I would wonder what would happen if he was ever truly, and maybe he has, so we don't want to like say, but I wonder if there'd be something to being able to explore your sexuality in such a way with a partner you feel comfortable with, by maybe seeing if like you could have a little more versatility, but not necessarily is that, also what's going to happen. Maybe you just know straight up what you like and what you don't, which is like, to insert and not to be inserted.
I mean, that was a great like PC like move around saying what we want to say and then like being like, yeah, no, we didn't mean that.
Well, I mean, listen, I think I have a certain like inclinations of what I think this man, like, since he is somewhat closed, about other things, maybe he hasn't been able to like really dive into, growing in a healthy sexual way with someone. And I know that because I also feel like I could use that, like I have been in, healthy sexual relationships, but I think that with what we do, which is like long for a deep human connection of any kind, the deeper your connection and friendship is with someone, the longer you are with someone, and the more that you can have sex and explore and communicate about it, you both grow and evolve over time, and so if you haven't been privy to being lucky enough to be in a situation where you feel comfortable and secure with someone for a long period and consistent period of time, then you might not know every aspect of what you like sexually and what could happen. So, I mean, again, I'm saying that from, literally a place where I understand that.
Yeah. So this was a short segment for them. At some point, the end of their segment, they talk about polyamory again, and Carlos says he isn't up to it. And Valentine acquiesces, being the consummate HR professional that he is, and says, you know what? You're right. We'll wait 3 years and then we'll see where we visit polyamory. And then I said to myself, 3 years? of a long distance relationship. Valentine, are you planning on bringing this man to the U.S.?
Yeah, I think he is. I think that 3 years was going to be like them. It felt to me that they want to be able to lean into their own relationship, make sure it's super secure first, and like have that foundation. And so to me, it feels like since they're on the show, I assume that they're on the path towards getting married and or bringing someone over and being like whatever. So
yeah, I think he bought a ring. I think that's what we learned in episode 1, that
they're gonna live together.
Yeah, he's planning on possibly popping the question.
Yeah, they both just think they're each of their butts are so cute, you know. And so it's almost like kind of both of them are kind of like wanting the other to literally acquiesce and compromise by like bending over, literally, haha, lol. But you know what I'm saying? And in this situation, Valentine's like, well, no, because I'm not going to do it and you don't want to do it. So I want polyamory, but you don't want polyamory. So here's us a compromise, which is I understand why you might not want it right now because we have some things to work on. But in 3 years, I would like you to be open to it. And that is when Carlos like has a little hissy fit. He's like, still no. And I'm upset you didn't bring it up because I want us to be like all already fine where we don't need anyone. And B, I don't need to have like penetration with you, which is interesting only because they kind of keep hinting back and forth of wanting that and how important it is and not having it. So it's like they're fine having not penetrated, but they joke about it. And we've talked about, you know, their sexual proclivities as much as any other conversation we've had with any other sexual couple. So it's like, I think that, yeah, they're going to have to like come to some sort of agreement, you know?
Yeah. Well, it ends good with them. And overall, I thought it was a good episode. It doesn't have Daniela and Johan, and I'm really more so interested in Daniela and Johan.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to hear from them next week.
Can't wait to hear from them. Yeah, like we want like a little postcard or something. Yeah. I don't know. They've been traveling, honey. We haven't gotten one. Like, wish you were here.
Have
not
they
anything.
Left the Pueblo yet? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder how everything's going there. I wonder how the buffet tasted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to catch up with them.
Remember, wasn't she the one that was going to like get her dress hemmed there or something like that?
Yeah, she needed to get it fitted there.
Yeah, like did that happen yet?
I don't know, but we need to find out. Maybe there's a seamstress in his family that can help do that. That'd be ideal.
Yeah, you know, that would be great. And if not, like, how's that one hot model friend, you know, that like didn't know that they were gonna get married, but like knew that they were, you know, dating, that like didn't talk that much.
You know, I'm not worried about him as much.
Oh, I think about him all the time.
I know.
You know, it really looks great, that lip gloss.
Thank you. All right, you guys. Well, you know, thank you so much for listening to us. And if you are a part of our Patreon, for watching us this episode. We are almost caught up with this season. And so we hope that you are enjoying the content that we are pumping out to you.
Pump it out. Yeah.
Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up. I said, pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up.
Wow, you guys, so sorry. We'll try and edit that out. We'll see. We love doing this. Yeah, we are so pumped, obviously, to talk about this Love in Paradise. It's such a fun, you know, offshoot of 90 Day Fiance, and this cast and these couples are really, really great. Now, here's the thing. As you know, we are a brand new podcast, honey, brand new.
Spanking new.
Spank me new. So if you're listening, would you mind making sure you're subscribed and also leaving us review, because we're like so hungry for your validation. Also, if you want to validate us even more, we enjoy followers, especially on social medias like TikTok or Facebook and Instagram, also Twitter at DocuSweeties, where you can find us.
Yes.
And then, of course, our Patreon, which Wah discussed, which we have already some fun
cunts. We have some fun cunts on there.
That we are two fun cunts making content, honey, and the X-rated full throttle, honey, is on the Patreon.
It's on the Patreon, patreon.com/DocuSweeties. And thank you for those of you who are watching this on Patreon. We enjoy the 12 patrons that we have, and we love you for jumping on the bandwagon so early. Get your friends, tell your friends to come on too. It's only $10 a month. You got it.
Yeah, so next time we are looking into what we're going to review next. So make sure you are getting onto our socials and telling us what you need us to talk about. Now, no, of course, we'll do the reality relationship-based shows that we're into, but also we're looking for your bingeable, streamable, exciting docu-series from those like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon places. So tell us what you want and what you think would be great.
Yeah,
we
like
love
Guru or The Way Down,
honey.
or Stay
Wild
Sweet.
Country.
Yeah.
Don't F with Cats.
Oh yeah, Don't F with Cats. Stay Sweet and pray and obey, or something like that. We'll do any of those things. So please let us know what you want us to
do and Took-a-Boot. Okay, we love you guys and have a great one. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.